Are you still believing that you need perfect natural lighting in your clients' homes in order to create beautiful natural light in-home lifestyle newborn photos? Let's change that, because I promise you, you can create stunning natural light images no matter what your clients' homes look like. I walk into clients' homes all the time that have terrible natural light, really small windows, dark situations, and I still come out creating beautiful photos for them every time. Even my own house doesn't have great natural light, and I promise you, you can work with any lighting situation and still come out with stunning newborn photos. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what camera settings I use for my in-home lifestyle newborn photo shoots in order to get stunning images every time, no matter what the lighting situation is like. And just as a free resource for you, I also have a whole cheat sheet that you can download and take with you to your next session. And that is my cheat sheet for your camera settings for your newborn photo shoots. Now, this is going to walk you through exactly what your camera settings should be for your in-home newborn sessions as well as outdoor newborn sessions. So I think you're going to find that really helpful. But also in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I use natural light in my newborn sessions and what I set my camera settings to in order to create the best photos. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you walk into your client's home is you're going to want to turn off all overhead lights. And I actually ask my clients to do this in my newborn prep guide that I send to my families beforehand. I go ahead and tell them we are going to want all lights, like overhead lights, lamps, anything like that. We're going to want all of that off for our photos. We don't want any kind of weird mixed lighting with this yellow lighting and the like blue lighting coming in from the windows. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to open up all the blinds and curtains. You want as much natural light coming into the house as possible. And then after that, you're going to walk through the home and you're going to find the spots that have the best natural lighting. So it may not be something super traditional, like maybe the nursery doesn't have great natural lighting. That's fine. You're still going to take some photos in there, but maybe you won't spend the majority of your session in the nursery. A lot of my clients have really, really beautiful natural lighting in their kitchens, and you wouldn't necessarily think of a kitchen as somewhere to take your newborn photos, but some of my favorite newborn photos have been taken in kitchens, especially because a lot of my clients have really fancy homes and just have really, really beautiful kitchens. Another place I love to take photos is master bedrooms. Master bedrooms usually have the best natural lighting in the house. For some reason, they usually have the most windows. And so taking those like photos on the bed in the master bedroom can be a really, really pretty spot for those like sweet snuggly photos. And then living rooms a lot of times have really good natural light as well, but you're gonna have to walk through your clients' homes and specifically find which rooms have the best natural light. Now, when you're thinking about the natural light in the home, and you've opened up all the windows, you've turned off all the lights, the best lighting is going to be when the window, so for me, for example, like my windows are right over here behind my camera. And so the window light is coming at me like this right now. And so that's the lighting you're going to want for the majority of your photos. It's okay to have the windows placed in other spots sometimes, but I find it kind of distracting. Like if the window's here and I place my client here and I'm standing here, all the light's going to be coming in the side, like they're going to have light hitting one side of their face and not the other. And I find that to be pretty distracting. I don't like the way that looks in photos very much. And so if I am in a situation like that, I just end up doing a lot of masking. I really like using the linear gradient tool in Lightroom to help with things like that, because I don't want my photos to be distracting. I really want you to just be able to focus on the emotions and the connection between the people in the photos. And so I find the most even lighting to be when the window light is hitting your subject straight on, kind of like in my lighting scenario here. Although obviously I would turn these lights off if I was taking photos. So that is what we want to start with. And then once you kind of figure out, what lighting you have to work with after you've done all that, then you're going to set your camera settings. Now, my go-to when it comes to f-stop is 2.2. I find that to be like it's not wide open. Like my lens goes to 1.4, so I'm not shooting at 1.4. That's a little bit like too soft. It's not going to be sharp enough. I'm not going to get enough in focus, because at that point it's like you can get someone's eyelash in focus and not their eyeball. I want to be able to, you know, get enough of the photo in focus and have it be sharp enough. But I also want to let as much light in to my lens as possible, especially when we're in those dark homes. And I want to still create that like dreamy bokeh depth of field. So I find 2.2 to be my go-to for my photos, sharp enough, in focus enough, but also I'm still getting those dreamy photos and I'm letting enough light into my camera. When it comes to shutter speed, my shutter speed is almost always 1/200. And that is just to eliminate any type of motion blur, any type of like shakiness from my hands on the camera. And also, I find that usually to be fast enough to freeze the motion from those like super active toddlers, if you have toddlers in your session as well. But you know, I'm not going to raise it any higher than that unless I have a ton of natural light for some reason. Like if I'm in a sunroom, then I might raise my shutter speed to faster than that. Like if I need to make the photo darker for whatever reason. But usually I am right at 1/200 for indoors. And then when it comes to ISO, this is the one you're really going to change the most when it comes to that dark in-home lighting scenario. And so you want to start at 100. And if you can keep your ISO at 100, if that is bright enough, if that makes your photo bright enough, then obviously you would want to stay there. But don't be afraid to raise it like as much as you need to. One thing to keep in mind is you are going to have less grain in your images if you raise your ISO high enough that your photo is properly exposed than if you have a lower ISO and your photo's dark and then you try to raise the exposure in Lightroom. That's going to make your picture grainier than if you had just used the proper ISO to begin with. So I was looking at the photos from my last newborn session and my ISO was at 5,000 for a lot of the photos. And that might seem really high and that might scare you, but do not be afraid to go high with your ISO, okay? Again, that is going to create less grain in your photos than if you have a low ISO and you try to raise your exposure in Lightroom. So one thing to keep in mind too is Lightroom has that new denoise, AI denoise feature, and that helps so much. So I did that on all of my photos in my gallery where I had that 5,000 ISO, and the photos look perfect. My clients love them. I have no issues with them. They're not grainy at all. So I really would not worry about raising your ISO as high as you absolutely need to. So that's it. That is my super simple system for camera settings when it comes to those in-home lifestyle newborn sessions. You just want to make sure, again, to open all the windows, turn off all the lights, not open the windows, open the curtains and the blinds, and then 2.2 f-stop, 1/200 for your shutter speed, and ISO as high as you need it to go. So if you want a little cheat sheet version of those camera settings, I've got that free guide for you down in the description below, and that will also walk you through what your camera settings should be when it comes to outdoor photos as well, if you do outdoor newborn sessions or if you do any other type of sessions where you need to figure out your camera settings. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know what other questions you have about photographing your newborn sessions, and I would love to answer those in a future video. See you guys next time.